Hey YouTube, Andy Ditch here. I have a video here that we need to talk about. Okay, I don't even remember what day this was. I know today, man, I think today's Friday. Yeah, Friday. Verified. I have a head injury, that's why I've been having a hard time remembering that. But I can remember everything else. Just not the day of the week. Something that I can do, like clockwork, I can't do. But at least I can remember everything else. That's why I know it's not a major head injury. It's a mild one, but this is not normal not to remember what day of the week or month it is. But I can remember everything else. Does not make sense to me. Okay, now one. I can remember what's happening here. Can tell you. You get trigger warned. We have something we gotta clear up. 5 police visits in this day alone. This was 2 days ago. This would have been Wednesday. Why? I'm sick of it. Sick of it. 2. It can't go on anymore. I don't want it. I have not liked it forever. The police is not my dad. The hospitals are not my dad. And everybody's getting pissed off because dad doesn't want to help me and cooperate. But yet everybody's pushed me back to 339 Morgan Street. Except for Henry Hepner has started to recognize this. We got a huge update. Shit is going on and dad is angry about it. This is why dad and Joe's trying to have me arrested for. That's why he wants to get eviction. Listen to the cops. I had enough of what dad is doing to me. But dad does not hear it. I'm sick of it. You know, the police department did their jobs for once, putting me on 941. I will tell you this. Police department, if you are watching this, or any police department, or anyone in a meltdown, I want you to know, for dealing with people with autism, how to help them, the police department did it, but could improve. Here's my tips and recommendations. Okay? 1. I had no right yelling at Officer Butcher, and I'm sorry. I did not mean it. I could not help it. I was upset because I'm sick and tired of my dad and brother emotionally and psychologically abusing me for control. I don't like it. Can't handle it anymore. Okay, that's out of the way. Officer Leostrata earlier this week said when I had an issue with my father for what he's been doing with me, and I can't take it. It's why I keep calling, because I'm getting shorter fuse than I have ever been, because I'm sick of it. I can't handle it anymore. I can't cope with Dad doing this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I don't want Dad to treat me like this. My wish is for Dad to include my opinions and feelings and not just his own. And that's my request. I don't care if he tells a doctor a lie or his opinion or feelings, but as long as he includes mine, I don't care if it's a lie or not. I want him to please also include my point of views and feelings and opinions to the doctors. Because the doctors need to know. Why? For 2 reasons. 1, Dad has a different take on my medical records and what he remembers or, things happened. 2, I have the same issue, but not as bad as Dad. I'm pretty accurate. I've been accurately reporting things, and we'll get to some of that in another time. We gotta stay on topic. I gotta try to practice staying on topic. And that's gonna be very difficult when I started a topic that I need to talk about, but I gotta stay on topic. It's gonna be hard to ignore what I just said and go on to the thoughts that I wanted to say to add to the supporting evidence, but that's not related to this conversation. It's something I've been working on with speech when I was at Buffalo Hearing Speech Center. I have a hard time. I gotta try to really hard to learn not to do that. Okay, I get that. That was unrelated here. But Dad does not like this stuff. He gets angry. He tries to make me look like I'm the abuser and shit. I just ask him, Dad, you want to lie? You want to say what you want to say? But at least if you include how I feel and think about things, then the doctor can have comparisons to it. Then the doctor can report if I'm telling the truth or I'm lying, or I'm crazy or delusional or not. That way, there the doctor sees how I'm thinking and seeing things and understanding things, so they can know, so they can better accurately diagnose me and help me. But is Dad doing that? No, he just wants to control everything for his way. He's the father. That's the whole point of me putting this out there. Dad is my father. I have to do what he wants, and he wants the best interest for me. Well, Dad wants the best interest for me, then why did he not listen to the police officers here? Why did he not listen to my doctor? Why does Dad not listen to my doctor about the malpractice attorney? Why does Dad not want to listen to my doctor's request to be part of my appointment so they get to know the full story? They don't want to just hear what I can and can't do for me all day long. They want to hear it from my dad too. More importantly, they want Dad to say it. Why? I'm hiding my disability is why. Dad is delaying me getting diagnosed and help. He's making it harder for me to get help. And in this video, he wants me out of the house. He's getting eviction order and all these threats about me. Well, Dad, it was a perfect opportunity to get me help and you didn't want to. Well, you can see that I'm wanting help. Dad wants no part of helping me get that help. Just because control over his opinion. He left me without any support or advocate at ACMC, and this is what I'm going through. Okay, last thing I want to point out here is, yeah, one time I was calling the police because I wanted to leave the house and I couldn't take it anymore. That was after I could not wake up on my own, and I had an issue with that. Okay, great. Maybe there was 4 times I called the police, and I don't know. I'm just going off 5 times because that's what Dad said. I don't really remember. I just know they were here a lot. I know at least 3 times. So, Dad, actually, you know what? There was 4 times. Because Dad and Joe called the police one time on me. And then they didn't notify me, which then I called them back because what Dad said, and I got frustrated, so I wanted to talk to the officers too. They didn't talk to me at all. They only talked to Dad and Joe, that was it. So, 2. There's a second part here. And I can tell you why Joe took me off the Google Home for. I shared a sample of one of the videos that I had that was at the end of this. Watch how Dad's picking on me at the end of this video. And that's why I'm bringing this up for. I sent that part only to Joe and Dad, and that was it. Dad and Joe do not like it. That's why I believe they took me off the Google Home Mini. Well, guys, so you guys know, so it's documented, the Google Home speaker in the basement is mine. I own it. I'm taking it off, I'm resetting it so Joe can't use it again, and I'm not putting it back on the Google Home app. 2, I don't want Joe to put me back on the Google Home Mini. He and Dad made the decision to try to control things because there's something else that I did not screen record. The cop visit between Dad and Joe earlier without me being involved. That I saw parts of it, but I don't really want to go into too much detail because I don't really remember much about it. Plus, it was kind of hard to hear. But I could tell you the reason why Joe doesn't want me knowing about what was said. I guarantee you that's why they took me off. So I didn't have the screen recorded. Dad and Joe doesn't know that this one's more important. That I had to screen record because the police wants to get me help in our dad's situation. The police had enough. They're actually doing something for once after all my complaints. We'll get to that in a minute. So the Google Home speaker down in the basement is mine. I'm resetting it. I'm giving Dad time, and I'm telling him in writing, the dining room lights, Dad. The 4 smart lights in the dining room are mine. I'm giving you time to get your own lights, whatever you want to replace it with. But I'm taking them out. If they're mine, and they're not going to be put back on the up for me until I move out. I had enough. You wanted to do this game. I'm not allowing you to put me back on because if you put me back on, it's only going to cause me confusion. The reason why I need that is because I have the Google Home set up to wake me up just like as a kid. The only difference is it's a Google Home Mini. It's involving smart technology, not an alarm clock, like growing up. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. It turns on the dining room and living room light. It plays the Beatles album, one of the Beatles albums, one of my favorites, to help me wake up. I change what Beatles album I select each few months is a new one to keep it interesting to try to keep me waking up. I want to be independent and waking myself up, which is why I'm doing this. I set that alarm with a message to all those speakers in the house that it's time to wake up Andy. That's all. Andy, it's time to wake up, I meant. Because I want to be independent. 30 minutes later, I have the alarm, as agreed with Dad, to turn on in his room, playing one of his favorite music groups, Alice Cooper. He's a Alice Cooper lover. So I played one of the albums, I believe it's called When I'm 18. I believe it was that album, or that album that introduced that song as a cover song. Okay, I don't remember the album name. This is not related to this. The point is, it also turns on his bedroom light and the hallway light upstairs on a dim setting in the hallway light, just so it does not disturb Joe. I meant, because I do care about my brother, I do care about my dad, and I don't want to just bother them. I have it set up that way there. I know I can wake up because I'll have help when that alarm goes off. I want to try first. Mom, when I was a teenager, had set up an alarm clock in my room for Joe and me. It would go off 30 minutes before Mom and Dad would wake me up, and Joe. Why? Because Joe had difficulty waking up to an alarm clock as well. The difference is he got able to do it where I can't. I could never do it. I'm still learning how to do it on my own. That Google Home speaker system is helpful for me. I maybe wake up on my own 10%. It may take me until it stops playing the music, but at least I'm waking up. I roll over, and I start waking up, start dozing back off, even when Dad wakes me up or tries to wake me up. the dogs then come over to wake me up and finish and wake me up. Especially Chewy. When Chewy's downstairs, Chewy comes over to lick my face and have me pet him and whines until I pet him. That causes Tucker to want my attention from me too. Thanks to Chewy, Tucker gets me up and licks me and wants me to pet him. Something that Tucker used to do all along that Chewy started doing to help me wake up, and it helps me. It helps Dad, I'm sure. He doesn't have to come back downstairs as he knows the dogs are going to do their job to help me wake up, to help Dad and me. Hey, we got pets. Why not? The licking, the barking, the whining, the wanting attention, the nudges, helps me wake up. Thank you, Tucker. Thank you, Chewy. I love you. Yes, and because I'm moving, and you know something, I'm not a toddler, I'm not a baby, so do not compare me with one. I'm not role playing, I'm not faking. I saw that is how you wake up a toddler. You roll them, you tap them, you nudge them, and you let them wake up by doing that and help them wake up, and that's how you learn how to wake up to an alarm clock. The thing is, a toddler can learn to do that by age 5, waking themselves up. Okay, maybe I'm not sure. Because I don't know how old a kid would learn to wake up on their own. I don't know. I'm not a mom. I never did this before. Just telling you, I saw how you wake up a toddler, and that's how you have to wake me up. Because I saw that on the video, I started telling that to my dad, how to roll me over and help me up. Because Dad thinks I'm a toddler trying to get him to baby me and coddle me and wipe my ass. And he doesn't like me being developmentally disabled, which is why he doesn't want to do that. The whole point of this video is, Dad had a perfect opportunity to help me, but failed to do so. The police, now you see that you asked Dad to call ECMC to fight for me to get me help, and he failed to do that, even though I'll tell you a little bit about the incident. So each time the police came over, the 3 times that I interacted with them on this day, that I know for sure, this is interaction number 3. So you know. There was one more in the police station, but it was all, I would count it as part of this event. Okay? I want you to know that I had enough of their abuse. Every single time the police came over to help calm me down, because Dad and Joe worked me up to the point where I have no one to calm me down. I need the police. The police helps me calm down. No sooner I do that, this happens. Whoa. Wait a minute. This happened twice before. The Officer Butcher, I think, was the first one, or was it Officer Cooper? I don't remember. One of the two. Actually, they came over twice. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I don't remember if they came another time for me, but I know Dad and Joe talked to them, and I don't know even the officer that they talked to out there, but they didn't come in and talk to me. I know Officer Cooper did after I called him back, finding out that they called the police, and I had no idea. I was doing a YouTube video, had no idea they were calling the police, right? But I called him back and talked to him. Well, then there's the second part here we need to talk about. The second part. You know what that is? Officer Cooper calms me down. We develop a plan. I did the plan. I watched some TV. Dad comes downstairs, or goes out to see Mom and Matt. I think it was, yeah. Dad go out to see Mom. Dad comes home. I asked Dad for help for, making calls to the doctors and help me get the help I need. Dad blows up at me. So I call the police. Because I'm tired of this. I need help with my medical care. I can't function here at home, which is why I'm asking Dad to help me. And he abuses me because of it. Guess what? Officer Worthing comes. I explained to him what I was asking him for. I don't really exactly remember fully, but I don't even remember. I had to go back and see if I got a recording. I think I might, but whatever. I don't even care if I did or didn't. The point is, he came up with a plan, and he told me, Andy, could you ask your father, like you're doing this? Go in the house, ask your father the way you just explained it to me in a calm tone of voice, and I'm sure he will help you. I did that. Dad, and I have it on recording, Officer Alerting, but this is not that video. I'll do that after. So, Dad did something else. Blows up at me, so I said, oh, Dad, I'm just doing what I was told to do. I'll go get my AC up and I'll type it in So I did that. I started playing it for Dad. He starts getting angry at me because I'm criticizing him. Because I'm concerned about him. Let's listen to that in a second. Because we need to stop this. No sooner Officer Worthing calms me down. And I'm trying. I have it on recording. Doing exactly what I was told to do. Dad doesn't like it. So then I told him, Officer Worthing said to do this calmly. I need your help so I can follow what you want and what he wants. He said, fine, and let's talk about it. So I talked about it, played my AC. So on tape, right? I think Dad asked me to clear and set the table, and I think I did that as well. But I also was talking to him. I think that's why he allowed me to talk to him. But he said, once dinner's done, then we're not talking about it. Okay, Dad. Dinner wasn't done at all. Still, he said, when the timer goes off, we're done talking about it. Okay, Dad. That's on tape. The alarm did not go off. Suddenly, Dad starts blowing up at me just before the alarm went off. Like, not even a minute or two before. And I asked him, why the switch? Why the switch, Dad? I don't understand. I'm doing exactly what you said to do. You okayed for me to talk to you about the situation. I'm talking to you. And then suddenly you blow up because you didn't like something I had to say. And you didn't like it. And I don't know why. And that because you blew up and got nasty and talked over me, hurt my ears, and interrupted my train of thought, I had a behavior issue. Well, guys, instead of getting upset, I walked out. Because I'm trying every single thing not to have the police help me with everything. I was able to do something that I do not normally do, that I needed help from my father and other people to do. Is using the skill of walking away and stopping the fight, an argument. Well, guess what? I am super happy because I did that. I tried. I'm trying. I have a hard time using the skills that I'm taught. That's nothing new, because in 1993 that was also reported at age 8. That is why this is a developmental disability, people. There you go. Not only do I have a developmental delay of not waking up to alarm and needing help, but I also am trying to be independent in waking myself up. Something that Mom worked on as a teenager that I'm still working on to doing at age 38. Just like Mom used to change my diaper, and Dad did too, and helped me by picking out the clothing so I didn't wear shorts all the time. Even though it may have been the same pair of shorts or same pair of pants and same shirt that my school records talk about being dirty and soiled and being sent to school with body odor. The same report that stated at CPC at age 17, still needing mommy and daddy to diaper change me and dress me. Mom and Dad helped me. They may not have helped me with the dressing, but I still need the same level of help of getting dressed that I did at 17 that I'm not getting right now. The thing is, I'm 38, still needing that level of care that my mom and dad left off at age 17 with me. Well, actually, that was all later. We'll get into that in a minute. That's not related to this. So, mom and dad used to help me well into my adulthood of getting me dressed and helping me get ready and changing my diapers. Oh, yeah. It did not come easy for me to learn these skills. I could not tie my own sweatpants or put on my own diaper until Dina at McDonald's worked with me on that skill. And guess what? Mom found a pair of black pants that was not sweatpants that I could use a belt. Why? Because I have a hard time using the string. I can use the belt where I can't tie my own. I can buckle it with my belt, but not use the strings on sweatpants. I have a hard time still this day. Mom found a pair of women's pants that were sweatpant material. Quote, that's against McDonald's policies, like the shirt that she got that was buttoned down, that was white, that was a different fabric, that was short sleeve. No, actually, hang on. They had a long sleeve and a short sleeve option. Mom did try the long sleeve option like she had asked, but because of my sweating issue, but because it would show the mustard and dirt on my sleeves more than my front, because you gotta wear an apron, right? That she had me go to short sleeve regardless. So guess what? Mom got me special clothing and even my own tie. And I learned how to do my own tie because of my dad. Wait a minute. Aren't McDonald's supposed to wear the Ronald McDonald tie? Yes, but I kept losing my tie. So I learned to keep my tie with my name badge attached to my tie. Well, actually attached to my hat, I meant. With my tie attached to my hat. So I left that at work on the coat hook I had used for my coat. Guess what? Or I'm at the cubby hole that I used for my coat. Well, I didn't leave my diapers there. My diapers were in the office at McDonald's. So I didn't get made fun of as much, even though nobody did. That way there was hidden away so it didn't look like there's a baby in there or adult with diapers. And when there was an inspection or higher up management came in, Dina or the manager would put that in their car or have hide it somewhere where they would not go looking for it. Guess what? It was there. I had diapers and some wipes, so I didn't forget it all the time. But the rule was I had to bring a book bag with my diapers, a change of clothes, and wipes and gloves because it was my own that I needed help with. They helped me. I may have had more poop accidents at McDonald's because I had a diaper on. They told me when they were shorthanded that they didn't remind me to go to the bathroom as much when that happened. But they always helped me when I needed it. And I didn't poop myself like I do now because I had a toilet routine with their help. I learned how to put on my own diaper even though I still have issues. What I have issues with is I can't put on my diaper where it doesn't fall down and it doesn't cause skin issues or leaks. I need somebody to help me. Still, to this day. Just like the sweatpants. But I'm just like trying to be independent, waking myself up to the alarm clock. I also am trying to still get dressed and diaper change myself and shower myself. If you know I need that help. Still today. I'm trying. Yet every single buddy says I'm lazy, I want handouts and dad to cater to me, and I'm playing up the disability by role playing, and I'm pretending to be high needs. No, I'm not. And I don't like it. I'm not faking. I'm not purposely being this way. It's not a choice. I'm an adult. I'm not a child. My father treats me like I'm a child who didn't get his way. That is why one of my support people that's helping me gave me the idea when another person that I recently started becoming friends with, his name Doug, and not Doug Usiak, a different Doug, had texted me, and he told me to turn the tables on my bullies and my dad and brother. I didn't know what that meant, so I went to a friend of mine who then told me what that meant. Apparently, copying the actions of Dad and Joe and going back at them with that, what they do to me. I did that. That's where I said to Dad, "You didn't get a lollipop. You didn't get a lollipop, so you could throw a fit." Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, that video. That's what I was doing. I had it with them. Okay, Doug. I also texted you. That was not a good idea. That made it worse for me, Doug. And I don't like it. I'm sorry. But please don't influence me on something that would really hurt me. Just like he's told me to go making response videos to videos I can't have access to without, some other way of. But then I can't use screen recording for it because I can't really get the video because I can only use the TV or boot my computer in safe mode to watch it or my cell phone. Which we also need a rule that I'm not going to do because Dad, I need to follow rules and I want to follow rules that I'm asking for Dad for help with. So that's what I'm doing. So, Doug, stop influencing me with bad ideas if you want to be a friend of mine, please. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be dragged into online crap that people do about me all the time. I don't want it. I deal with what I go through here at home. I don't need the other people to deal with. And I need people to help me and respect my requests. I also don't want people to tell me what things are, so I go repeating things or telling or understanding what's happening or any of that stuff because I don't want to go repeating like what turn the tables mean because somebody told me. So I'm making a new request for everybody. Please do not tell me something that I'm going to go repeating that the next person is going to use to say I'm too smart and I know everything about it and I'm faking. That's why I'm asking you not to. So, you guys know, I had enough of the abuse, and I was not in a diaper at this point. That's what sparked this call. I took off my diaper. I had a stomach ache, like I had in CPAP. There was multiple times I had a stomach ache in CPAP that I couldn't go poop. But I tried. I was scared of having a bowel accident in my diaper, or pull up when they gave me a pull up at first. We'll get to that in another video. And I had such a stomach cramp I couldn't take it, so I tried going poop. I couldn't go. I told them that. Oh, by the way, I gotta take Miralax. Think of that. But then I don't have anything to take it with. Well, I got my rest of my pop. I'll try it with that, my McDonald's pop. But the point is, guys, I'm constipated, and I told them this, and they failed to help me. So I gotta take my Miralax. Guess what? When I have a stomach ache, it usually means I have to, go poop. Or I have bad gas. And there are times that I have to force out something or force a fart just to try to fix that pain. It does not mean I'm looking for attention or looking to get a response like the police department had said here. I had enough of the abuse and that's what I told them. Not looking for a response. So the police department is working hand in hand with the ECMC on this. Because ECMC also stated that I was looking for Dad to respond. No, I'm not. I had enough of Dad's abuse. Not looking for a response. I don't care. I just had enough. That's what I told them. You don't like it? Twist what I said. I had enough of the abuse and don't care what Dad does. Go ahead. It's simple. You document something, it's fraud. medical fraud, and also I should get a copy of that 941 to make a complaint, but I'm not going to. Because they actually did their job of putting me on 941 when they should have been doing that all along. The thing is, I was going to make a complaint earlier today, because if I'm going to headbang, why did the Officer Kraft fail to put me on 941? Why did they do that after that? I don't know why. But before Officer Kraft and during Officer Kraft of incident last year is when they didn't. Guess what? Elopement is also a 941 criteria. And guess what? The police are now going to be doing that when I cross the street and run away when I'm upset. I mean, when I walk with my mailman, he has to help me cross the street safely. He knows that. I trust him. He's my only social outlet besides my social group on every Tuesday and Jehovah's Witness. Which, while I play this video, we need to also address that Dad was trying to get me arrested in Joe. There was a recent video where Dad told Officer Worthing that he wanted me on 941. And where he said that, and lied about something when I asked him for help with taking my pills. Well, how did I remember it was my pills? Because it was on my daily schedule for that day. It was after dinner. And just because I wanted Dad to help me with that, and I did not want to eat dinner, I did make a self-harm statement to my dad for why I didn't want to eat dinner, but the truth was, I didn't want to eat fast food. Do you know why I did not want to eat fast food? I'll quickly show you this. The shot that I was given. Okay. Yeah, so these are, guys, low blood sugar, feeling jittery. Oh, wait! That's a reason to call your doctor. That's exactly why Dad wanted me to go to the hospital. That's why this drug I have to be taken off. You know what? I was saying kidney problems. The reason why I was taking off Jardians is because it uses the kidneys to filter out the blood. And because of my urinary issues, the doctor took me off that drug and put me on that drug to try to slow down the wedding. Well, I had a really bad reaction, so I had to go to the hospital. That's what triggered this issue that I'm having with my dad. I was not feeling well, and my father was not feeling well, because Dad wanted me to go to the hospital, and then after he took his drug, he had a really bad reaction to it and side effects. Okay? But he has to take the drug or else he could die. My dad I want you to know that's what caused Dad to not help me after he was helping me. After my last headbanging issue a few weeks ago. In March. I want you to know that. Because I lost his help because he could not do it anymore, I had behavior issues that I could not help. Wow! I need that constant prompting redirection. Dad wasn't able to do it. He just started becoming able to do it, and he's holding a revenge and grudge for me. And he fights me on this. Don't you think I feel bad enough watching my dad struggle? To feel bad for needing his help and I can't do it on my own? Do you see my point here? That's why I'm begging Dad to tell my doctors the full story so they can help me. Is that hard for my dad to do? No. Dad had a perfect opportunity. He did not want to do that. I'll get to that in another video. We'll do that right after this one with ECMC. I'll put that on my phone so I remember. Okay, I want to talk about ECMC. So, 1 second. So, I just reminded myself of a text message. We'll talk about that in a second. So, here's number 2. So, I'm asking. Dad was asked to call, help me get help. Well, perfect opportunity, Dad, to help me get placement. Sorry you didn't listen. Sorry, but anyways, let me go back to the incident where I forgot. I started going on details. I forgot to add the others. Sorry, I have trouble with this. I'm sorry. It's part of my language disability. It's also a shared trait between autism and schizophrenia and auditory processing. The differential diagnosis would be is that I have a language delay in the autism, and that's what separates the two. Okay, now back on topic. So the other day when Officer Worthney came and Dad was giving me a hard time, right? Officer Worthney talked to me and had a plan with me, right? Calm me down. Well, Officer Worthney was not going to give me the help me supervise the pills with Dad because Dad was told by him he had to work it out with me. We're big boys. I agree with that. Thank you. It should not be the police because I need help with my medicines. Dad didn't like what I said, and he was concerned for me. I get that. But I also just needed my medicines. I wanted all of them so I could take that night. Like on my routine, I started eating a sandwich, and that's where Dad lied about. I wasn't going to eat my dinner, and I needed to eat because I'm diabetic. I'm taking metformin. And I didn't want to eat dinner with Dad at fast food because I was told not to with the medicine I was on, that I was started by my primary. That's why I now know that that drug is not the cause, it was the DDVP. I'm most positive. I don't know. I want to find out. I'll find that out with I go to my endocrinologist later next week. Number 2. Dad said to Officer Worthley, put him 945, right? He needs to go. He's in the dangerous in himself and others. Well, Officer Worthing said that's not how this works. We just don't put him on 941 for that. Thank you, Officer Worthing, because Dad was lying and not telling the full story. And yes, I did make a self-harm thing, but I did not do it, and that's why I told you I did not do it, because I did not do it in the way to say I was going to do it. I misspoken my words because I didn't have the ability to form my sentence to tell him I can't eat fast food, even though I kept telling him that's what Lauren told me to do, and drink plenty of water. And not eat so much carbs and fats and sugars. That's what I told Dad. Well, he kept ordering fast food. Whatever. It's his diet. I can't help it. So, Officer Worthing was told by Dad. After Officer Worthing told him no, he can't do 941. Dad threatened me by saying Joe and him was going to pound the shit out of him, and then when we get arrested, then the judge will have to do something about it, because we had enough of it. Instead of getting along with me and helping me understand things and communicate with me and help me clean, you're going to threaten to punch me. Officer Worthing is lucky Dad didn't arrest him because of this. The whole reason why they're not arresting him because that would put me in more danger because the hospitals are not willing to help me. Well, APS is now willing to help me. The hospitals don't want to budge because they're set in their ways because APS wasn't cooperating. So now they're playing into APS who wants to cooperate and get me OPWDD where they didn't want to do it before. See, liability issues. APS is now turned against ECMC, I believe, after paying them off, so now we got an issue here. I'll get to that in the video about ECMC later. So, Dad, I told Officer Worthing, I told the officers how Dad did that, and how Dad was just trying to pass me onto the ECMC on 941. And Dad was trying to pass me on, and I made a video about this before. And then Dad didn't get his way by Officer Worthing and threatened me just to go to jail. Trying to get his way, manipulate. Gee, I wonder where I learned that from. I'm autistic. The thing is, Dad is doing it, and I'm copying in his footsteps, but I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm scripting because that's what I've been doing all along. So, number 2, Dad didn't work. So now Dad is back on trying to get me arrested, have the criminal justice system deal with me. Oh, we got the response here. So, how many times have I been arrested? November 2018, I was found innocent after spending 45 days in jail. Wow. For harassment. Okay. 2, not even a few months later, I get arrested for headbanging. An involuntary response, something I cannot help. Dad tells ECMC, that is brand new, only started doing that a few months ago after learning about autism and watching videos of kids doing that. Get to that in a minute. Because my child records talk about me doing the same thing. It also talks about how I punch holes in the walls. It also talks about how I broke glass and stuff. It also talked about how I used to bite myself, something I don't do during meltdowns. Or haven't done it in a while. And then there's another one. I also, quote unquote, I still bite myself, I think, because I remember having bite marks on me when I was in jail. Because I've had such a hard time with headbanging. I don't know why I went back to something I have not done in a meltdown and then just recently stopped after jail. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I don't know why. Maybe because I hurt my head so much. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I could not help it. I found innocent, no intent, and because there was mental illness involved, and disability, they couldn't do it anyways. And because I lived here, it was my own property with Dad because it's technically my house like his because I pay rent. Then what happens? I get arrested for text message. Remember that? November 2019, made national news. Found innocent and that as well. The next thing was harassment using the oil diffuser and endangerment of my mom. Well, guess what? My charges were then dropped. Why? Harassment was primary. That was secondary. I had no intention. I just wanted to relax. I made it clear. I made it known. It was my coping skills. It was medically ordered. And Dad manipulated using Mom's breathing problem to get me arrested because he wanted to work me up. So I had a behavior issue by trying to turn off something that was relaxing me. And I video of it. And then suddenly he wants me arrested because he wanted to stir the trouble. I'm expected to calm down, but I'm also expected not to use the coping skills that I work on that was used all my life. Dad arrested me. Or Dad had Mom arrest me. Well, I was found innocent. Guess what? I returned back home. Guess what? Dad has lied on all those arrests and all those times I've been found innocent on. So when my lawyer was smart from the headbanging meltdown, had that charge combined with the calling the police to do a welfare check on my mom, this would support my argument at the time with that arrest. My father, according to my mom's words, and I have to find that recording. I really do. I want to play that. Mom was sitting on the toilet crying, calls me at 3 a.m. that one day when Dad and Joe was delivering newspapers and waited for them to leave. Mom used to sit on the toilet in the bathroom instead of sleeping in bed because what Dad used to do to her about me. And it was always because Dad did not want me to have autism. And how she defended me what Dad does to me. Guys, there's your proof that Mom and Dad fight over each other with me. And Dad does it because he doesn't like it and he uses control over me and Mom, and that's what he does best. Guess what? I was right, and if I share that recording, which I have to find, I have to dig on it, but I'll find it. And when I do, it's going on YouTube, and when I have time to do it, I'll do that. Just to expose Dad and the police on this, because this bullshit. This has to stop. The police put me on 941 on this night. So after Dad tried having me arrested again to have the criminal justice system, just like he does with the police department, he works me up. I call the police to calm me down, and guess what? He uses the police department and the ECMC and the hospitals, the jail, and APS as a get me out of the house. I'm not helping him, and that's where abuse is happening. That's where the neglect is happening. Wait until I tell you about the ECMC visit, because Henry is now woken up because of my civil rights complaint about him and my threat of getting a civil rights complaint against him by going to the DHR. And guess what? The police department is also woken up because of my complaints. They need to put me on 945. They should have done it before. Officer Worthling, you are wrong. It is not a violation of my rights. Why it's not a violation of my rights is because I cannot take care of myself. I cannot take care of myself. I never could. You guys should have been doing this all along from the times that I was having issues with. From 2017 to present for that issue. Wait a minute. The police stopped doing that when and I think the reason why they stopped doing that was because I had Mom's and Dad's help that stabilized the issues, and I had the help. And even when I had the apartment, and I made the complaints about this, that they used to do it back then, and I was an adult, and I had my own apartment. I think they found those records, people, and that's why they start doing this now. Keep it consistent. Don't just say one day you're going to allow me to throw away my pills and not the next. I should make a complaint about Officer Bentley the day I headbang and I have it on the doorbell camera, and I know that's also why Joe took this off, because I was going to record that and put it on YouTube, how I headbang in front of the Officer Bentley and the other officer that was in training, and they let me do it, and they did nothing. Guess what, people? I really need to file a complaint about that and Officer Kraft to put the stop to this. Officer Kraft and Officer Bentley are two officers who says I'm faking and doing it for attention and shit. I should make a complaint about those two officers so they stop. That way they can't continue this shit. They allow me headbang, and that also caused Lieutenant Omar to retaliate against me. Bingo. I need to make a complaint to put a stop to it. 3. I had enough. I don't want to go through this anymore. I can't handle it. I can't cope. I told ECMC this. I've been telling the cops. That's why I defecated on the floor. I did not know I had to go poop for sure. I thought I did with a stomach ache. But I could not function because I was trying to communicate with my dad, and I'm going to share that video with you guys separately. Because I had enough of my dad and brother. I cannot take it anymore. I don't want Dad to keep doing this to me, and I don't want Joe to keep doing this to me. I will share that recording after, as I need to go on to telling you what happened here. That is what happened. Now I gotta make a phone call before it gets any later to the person who's going to be picking me up tomorrow. Let me play this.
And I said, no, what's for anything I'm eating it. And I'm out. Hey guys. You guys have been here 5 times today with him. Officer, You should do what Henry Hector recommended this afternoon when I talked to him. Send him on 941, send him to the hospital, whether they keep him or not.
That's not going to do anything, but I think the only way is to unfortunately put him in
the judge.
What happened since we were here before? He was calm when we talked to us the first time.
They're pretty gross. We're finishing up eating and stuff like that, and he was going on and on about all aspects of past tense and everything else. How we're always ganging up on him, and we don't believe him that he's got autism. We think he's got mental health. But meanwhile, he started dropping his drawers the first time, so Joseph said, call. And I said, no, it's just the, and finally, he is exposing himself with his back and behind to us. And what?
You told me to call,
Yeah.
But as soon as I called,
He pulled him up.
He pulled him up. I was like afraid that you guys come over with him
Getting exposed to him.
that you'll get in trouble, arrested or something.
And then he thought we weren't paying attention about maybe less than 5 minutes later. He dumped it right in the living room. Unfortunately, one of the dogs got all cleaned up, so pretty gross if you ask me. Pretty sick if you ask me. I think he really needs to go. Or do
Do you guys
something.
have any plans to eventually try and get him
Well, I just
somewhere
found
out
out
of
from
here?
one of the officers that Officer Worthling, I think it is.
Officer Worthling's right there.
Maybe not officer. We got a brother, somebody that's in the city hall with eviction. As we were told, it was one of you guys. Well, there's supposed to be somebody at City Hall that can go ahead and do this. Because like I also told him, I have a letter
Are you talking
upstairs
about it?
that Andy already accepted to leave and not come back, but unfortunately he's back.
Wouldn't it? That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but see, evicting him is not going to get him the help he needs.
It doesn't matter.
The biggest issue is that who can help him and then keep him safe. Yeah.
It doesn't matter at this point. He took a dump on the rug right in front of you.
And
To
you.
me, that is destruction of private property.
True. I think he's trying to laugh about that.
No, I'm not laughing.
I don't really blame you, Ted,
Right.
because this kind of
Like, have you tried to work out anything, try to get him in a group home, anything like that?
Yeah, well, we had him going to ransom for an interview. He canceled it on us before his psychiatric counselor at Rockford Mental Health. And then he screwed it up. So then afterwards, she says, "You really want to get out of here?" She saw it. That last day he was there, he was misbehaved. He had to call 2 state troopers, and we had to meet him there because he was out of control. Now, after that, she says, "You really want to get out of there and everything? Call Ransomville and go get an interview, and then go there." Well, it's not my criteria. It's not for autism. It's for other things. And it's a large group. I won't be able to stand the noise. All kinds of excuses. So finally, he did decide to make a phone call on the way back to the house. And unfortunately, the guy that does the intake, his name is Mark. He was on vacay to call him Monday. So we started calling him Monday and Tuesday, and he's been ignoring the number. And he was going right to voicemail and his phone. So meanwhile, I decided, well, why don't you try to use my phone the third time around? And it went right to his voicemail and left him a message. He's never got back to me because whatever Andy said or did to him, they don't want to deal with it. Just like the MIH, that's OEM that he had, they deal with autism as well as mental health. The problem is that because he was going to a mental health clinic in Lockport, okay, get this, they put the wrong paperwork in. So meanwhile, if they discharged him before he even got an interview, you're going to go to, this is what Andy says. But meanwhile, we found out that all he had to do is go over there and have him resubmit the proper ones and be on its way. But Andy's fighting. He don't want to go. He doesn't want to go there. He wants to stay here 339 Morgan and make everybody, including the police department around him, in misery. Constantly calling.
Which is why you have, I don't know if you have a second option. Like I said, I would consider, deliberately taking a dump on a rug as an act of destruction of violence.
It's not, but
Well, he knew he was doing it. And he only did
he's
it.
trying to get a reaction out of you.
No, like Joe says, here's what he's really up to.
Did he take his medication?
We have no idea. He threatened earlier, I had to hide him, by the way, that he was going to destroy him again. when he's in this kind of mood, and he's been there since last night, you gotta get rid of his diapers, get rid of everything, otherwise, you know the rest of the story. So anyways, he doesn't know where I put it, very simply. And the problem with him is that, like Joe says, he really wants, and this is, he's been saying this ever since he was a kid, he wants to get me arrested. He wants to get Joe arrested. And he'll do anything to give us an opportunity to give him a slug, so we get in trouble for his nonsense. And we're not gonna give in to
I
that.
told him when he was a kid, he wants, I said, hey, you want me just as pictures of you getting arrested, right? And he got really defensive, like that's what he wants. But I'm said, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna placate to your game.
Right.
Not much. The thing is, I don't know how much more our neighbors can put up with.
I agree.
That's
That's why I think whether he wants to or not, I think we need to start the process to try and get him out of here as far as getting him in some sort of home and let it all be on
good
him.
luck.
Yeah.
He'll burn every bridge. Look at it, even with his primary yesterday, he couldn't even get out of what his primary wanted to do anymore because I called him the hallway when he's, and she already informed me that the doctor and the PC is getting so fed up that he's ready to lose his primary again. Again, that means it'd be the 12th doctor in the last 2 years that he's had because of the blown bridges. It's crazy. I mean, basically, you should be admitted to CPAP, stay there, psychiatrist, and admitted to a psych cell somewhere. And I know they still got him somewhere out in New York, but they just don't want to do it before he hurts someone or hurts himself. And you know he's been hurting himself.
Well, he's not quite at that point. Just about papers.
Yeah, it's getting there.
So you don't.
Might be getting there, but
So you don't think it's technical mischief?
Mischief? No, it's the camera's not damaged.
Joe, it's kind of absurd that no matter what, nobody wants to help us or do what they should do.
It's not that we don't want
See,
to
here's
help
the
you.
thing
It's
is-
not that we don't want to help you. It's that
No, it's not your fault. I blame CPAP. CPAP said a couple months ago when you guys came on the 941, that one of the primary things, and Andy fought me with this and denied it. One, we needed more counseling, not just once a month, and that's when he was still going to Lockport Mental Health. Two, he needed a psychiatrist, which he hasn't had since 2017, 18, when his original doctor from Horizon, he went before he retired. Hello, he has nobody to help control and give him the medication or anything he needs, or he needs to be admitted somewhere for evaluation to do anything. Because emergency rooms, the way they put it, is only there technically for emergencies only, and they only treat the emergency and not everything that needs to be done. They expect you to do that on the outside, and I'm sure you'll agree with it.
I explained that to you earlier.
I figured you did. I've heard some of your conversations and stuff. Does it do any good at times? Yes, for a short period of time, yes, and then we're right back into it. Or as soon as he sees me walking down the stairs in my house, or I got a project, or I have to write some checks, or I have a couple conversations with phone calls, or trying to take care of my wife's needs too, he's all over me. I mean, I can't even go out to change the oil in my vehicle, and he's right there.
We understand that.
What's that?
We understand that, but it's our job to fix this by arresting him, putting him in the seat.
Okay, the last time Andy was in court.
Can I just talk for a second? Okay?
Yeah.
You always talk over.
I'm sorry, the dog's got to drown me out. My ears are all shut.
Sending someone 911 to CPAP is like a soda test for mental health. So therefore, it's against his will. So they'd be taking away his civil rights. I'm not taking it there just because you want to. There's a certain amount of things that he has to meet to go to training for to send him. It's,
We're
can't
looking
just say-
for a ride out of the country somewhere.
we can't just say, hey, we don't want you, Dad doesn't want you here, we're sending you to the hospital. It doesn't work like that.
Did you know the last time you guys sent them to the graph and he went to the middle homework, the doctor said they'd keep him, get a social worker, and also get a psychiatrist to do the testing and keep him and put him in placement? Did you know Andy denies it, but he lied, because his own primary doctor's pissed off because he up and walked out of there when he was in discharge, and they could have got him the help. He was all that stuff.
Yeah,
How
that's
come-
on him.
How come nobody can stop it? That he really needs help?
Because
and
you
yet
have the
he's-
Miller film report, and that's not under the law. That's not-
They
He went there
also,
for help.
they also have mental health there, because we found out the specialist doctor that specializes in it, he was on that floor for people like his
But
problems.
he didn't go under a custodial arrest or what.
But he didn't even give the
He wants
doctor
to
a
get-
chance to evaluate him.
He
That's
can
that's up
volunteer.
to him.
Right.
It's
He
the
can
first
First time we
volunteer.
were here,
He's just
the
up
two of
in-
us were here before. Now
Yeah, he was just volunteered just up and down. He didn't even tell anybody until the Amherst police would come up and called me to come and get him and stuff, and they didn't know what to do with him. So they tried to set up to go back to the hospital and admit him, and that hospital unfortunately didn't have any.
I just want this for the record. I say that, purposely taking a step on someone's rug is not.
Whose is it? Whose is it?
My brother's crap. And my
No,
dad's.
well,
My house,
his house.
my, and the
He
wife.
lives here too. Then now you're gonna find out whose property is it? Your dad's? He lives here too. It could be yours. It comes into town every time with maternal property and that too. Is it damaged? No, that'd be like breaking something. Maybe criminal tampering because it creates an
But what if we-
inconvenience to
what if we
you.
really want, what if we call the professional clean it up?
Well, you know, what we should do, Joe,
But is
is
that
call
really
the,
gonna help, Joe?
call New York Health
So,
Department and let them know what he's doing.
so Joe,
Can we call the health?
And
so
let
then
them come in
we,
and-
so let's say hypothetically we do arrest him. He goes in front of the judge. They decide what happens to him, not us. We just enforce
we
the
know.
law.
You know that.
Guess what they're gonna do? They might put him back here, they might have an order of protection. But guess who's still responsible for him? Your father.
How can I be
It'd
responsible
be pretty weird.
when he's 38 years
It'd
old?
be pretty weird to have somebody who was your payee, and now there's a stay away order of protection. So now there's gonna be
He's just a
caveats,
payee, not a guardian.
but then there's gonna be caveats in there in the order of protection that, and you can talk to him only under certain circumstances. That'll be on the judge to
Or
decide
you
what
have
happens.
something that will get rid of his payees.
I
that-
can't. Social Security, I've already tried it,
Dad,
will
you have a
not
right- you have a
do
right
it
to tell them that you
because
don't wanna
they
do it.
do not have anybody else that will
Thing is,
do it.
we're
It
not gonna
puts
solve
me
these
in a
problems
bind.
for you guys.
No.
Your
My
dad,
brother's the only one that can solve the problem. He don't wanna change.
or your dad. Dad can do whatever he
Yeah,
has to do.
Dad can go to the eviction court, get the process started and everything.
And guess who decides to sign a warrant of eviction?
Oh, that'll be the
The
judge.
judge,
Yeah.
who went to college, who went to school, and have to allow them. They decide, they sign the warrant of eviction. They decide that it would be okay for him to be
This is
evicted.
why New York City has
And I already found out
people
from
living.
Rochester, when they didn't even want to come out after having the surgery and all the mental issues, the hospitals have them with them. Well, guess what? They said, no matter what, he's even in California, the only place he has to go and come back is here, because one of your officers, which I think he's either captain now or higher up rank, because a couple of these guys retired, told me that they refused to let him back in the house, even if I got a warrant or I got a petition to court for him to be evicted, he would contradict and get a court order to push him and force us to have him now, no matter what.
Even if
And I'm
you
not
had
gonna
a-
mention his name.
Even if you
He's
had a warrant,
basically a neighbor of mine.
even if you had a warrant of eviction, you would still have the right to on it.
Crazy.
And, yeah, it is crazy. Like it's, I mean.
The only way I could do this is up and sell the house and move to another state, and then the damn thing they could do, they would.
And we move to a state that actually supports the police.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's unfortunate that the judges don't support you guys.
So, Tom, you can do stuff. I know you're playing with your wife and that, but there's stuff that you
Oh, I got
can do
another issue
yourself.
called my heart,
Yeah, I know in your health.
and Andy doesn't care.
And I've explained that to him numerous times. I've probably heard it on the ring doorbell. I've told him over and over again. But there's only so much we can do.
But there's
And-
also
and-
much we can do.
And if there's an arrest to be made, then yeah, we can make it, but it's, I'm not trying to talk anyone out of it, but is that really gonna fix anything? There's better channels for you guys to go through
I
alleviate
understand
the
you don't
system.
wanna deal with him if he does get
Either they
caught
bring the victor,
or
APS,
anybody else.
there's counselors,
But there's only so much.
doctors,
It's
something
our
and you-
job. But it doesn't matter if we throw him out, then he's gonna be a bigger problem to all
I
of you
hate you
guys,
guys
because he's gonna
coming
be
over
where
all
all
the time and doing the same old,
Right.
but
You
I've
guys
said
will be
this for many
sleeping on the
years.
street.
He's tried to kill me, he's tried to kill John, had a knife in the back. One of you guys saved her from getting a back, the knife in there one day, which was in the kitchen.
Right,
He was
he's been
doing
arrested
something.
for that
Well,
stuff, right?
no, here's the thing, he didn't get arrested for that one. The one he got arrested was when, after she came back and she had heart surgery and stroke and all this other stuff, he was screaming in the up and had his fist ready to punch her head because she wouldn't have a conversation with him. She didn't know how to express herself because she has difficulty with the words coming out, and he got real angry. And the other time he got arrested, you guys probably don't remember this one, right? He poisoned us.
I was here,
What's that?
I was here,
Well, I don't know if this
he was
officer.
not.
Yeah, but how would you like to have your face and everything all over the TV with the crap he's been pulling? I know it's my favorite. It's disgusting. I know it's my favorite. It's disgusting.
Frustration, we do,
Can't trust him.
but
He's gonna hurt one of us. And then it's gonna be too late. Then when we know what's gonna happen.
so go to the, tomorrow, start the process.
Oh, I'll try it, but you know what?
You walk
It's
in
gonna
there,
be the same waste of time with everything else, though, right?
you know what the definition of insanity is, Tom?
I will try it.
Doing stuff over and over and over again and expecting something different. You can't keep kicking the can down the road and expect it to just,
Yeah, he needs to go
Be
to a
something
home.
different than
He
that.
needs
you
to
gotta
have a
do something.
psychiatrist and he needs a
If this is
counselor.
really how you feel, you gotta do actions to create a difference. And I hate to break it to you, we can't always solve the issue.
I know.
And I'm not up for violating people's civil rights.
I know.
I-
I know.
Well, what about our rights?
Well, see, we're the victims, and New York, you're guilty before innocent, regardless, even if you are the person found the complaint. That's how the system works. It doesn't work like it used to be. I mean, you might as well live in Canada, because that's how Canada
We
is.
shouldn't be subject to being exposed to or anything.
And by the way, where is Andy?
He's at 12.
You went to the police station? No.
He's going to,
Oh.
going to DCI.
He's going to ECLC? He must have done something. I knew he was starting to lose it. It's got worse. Should I notify Henry and let him know what's going on? Because I heard Henry also finally got the issue, and I tried to tell Andy for him to get a guardian that he's been requesting and wanting to get. And then maybe the guardian, whoever this person that the judge will assign, will take over and be in charge.
That's the thing, Tom. Calling us and stuff, unless there's something criminal, I know you guys think that this may be criminal. I'm not saying that it won't. It's not. I'm
It
not saying that what he
could have
said
developed
is.
into it.
Okay, I'm just expressing, do we think an arrest here is going to help Andy or hurt him?
Well, we don't want to hurt him. We want to help. We want him to help.
So
period.
contacting.
And that's one of the reasons why.
That's one of the reasons why we call you, because if we
And tell him.
do arrest him, last time they said that he would be arrested, that the judge may take him
And
mental
then,
health.
and then who would, and then, like I said, that's up to the judge to decide that.
And he
But last
checked
time
him.
he was arrested, what happened? He couldn't stay here, but you had to keep taking care of him.
Well, because of the police
And how-
department's all. Yeah.
And how was that in your life? Was it easier to help him here, or was it easier to drive out to Marion County?
It was a disaster because
Yeah.
the state troopers, the
Well,
sheriff,
we
and everyone else.
at least had a break.
Yeah, we had a break. We actually got our house fixed up fairly to where we could
The-
live. And
The better answer here is for you to call APS and go through those channels. Call Henry
You call for TCA, 941.
to help. That's the better. And him going to CPEP is, that's, once he's there, that's out of our hands. It's up to ECMC to decide if there's any further.
I really,
I can't,
and I'm gonna hear the same thing when they call me again. Here's what they're gonna tell me.
when I walk him through the door, I don't know what happens inside. And to be honest, I can't. Even if I tried to request papers from that, it's all HIPAA protected.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right?
Yeah. So it's like say, hey, what was his diagnosis? What did you guys talk about? What was the outcome? They'd say, unsolved, because that's HIPAA.
Yeah.
So.
And he wants us to get his records, because we don't believe him, saying that we can't get your records.
Yeah, and he wants me to call for lawyers for you, you know what he wants to sue. And he wants me to call for doctors and attorneys. You know the first thing they say when I call you for trying to get him a new mission for a new doctor? they won't talk to me. It's just like that word nipple. And
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying,
go back to the station.
yeah, we're trying to explain to Andy that he has to get the permission to talk to him first, and then I can continue.
They're
to-
private practice.
But-
You have to accept it.
Exactly, but he doesn't understand that. Good luck. So I guess we're gonna try to get some shampoo, out to clean up that mess before I go to bed.
I have my test in the morning. I have my ambulance, so he's sharing the airspace.
Hey, there you
All
go.
right, there you go. Yeah, have a good
Hey,
night. Good luck.
get one of the more expensive.
I heard you said it was
What's that?
hard. I heard you said the test wasn't that hard.
Study each cat.
I studied it.
Well, like I said, some of these laws are bad, especially since they get boundaries.
We don't create the law.
All right, Chewy, not coming to get you in.
Yeah, this is not good for him. So, you know, what you can take. I mean, one of these times he's going to accidentally do something. And that's what I'm afraid. Oh, I'm going to accidentally do something. Or Dad's going to accidentally do something. It's a matter of time. Then they have to do something. I'm gonna spray this down. Wanna let the dogs in? Let the dogs in, I'm spraying. No, I'm just gonna brush it with these big towels. Tucker's not gonna be. Come here, get out there. Here we go. You don't wanna use Tony yet. I think he knows he lost. Doesn't surprise me. Well, because I asked whose turd was in the toilet.
Hey, Tucker. Come again. I was outside because. Okay, YouTubers, Andy Ditch here. I was outside because I was talking to someone who's gonna be taking me to the Kingdom Hall, or what I would call it church, for those who are not Jehovah's Witnesses. So I was talking to him about the situation here at home. Sorry for taking that long. Have a good one.